Hello guys, I'm back with another video, and today I'm gonna talk about something very important, and it's about mental health and work-life balance. These two things are very important and are connected with each other. So I'm gonna share a personal story with you of my depression and suicidal thoughts that I used to have and how I overcame those thoughts, So it was basically the worst period of my life. So bear with me, listen to my story. So it was 19th of July 2019. I still remember it very well. And 19th of July is basically my dad's birthday, and I used to work in PIA, and their engineering department. And as usual, I was at my workplace in the evening time, and I was excited that I would go back home and celebrate the birthday of my dad. So what happened was that I was given a task to work on an aircraft's fuel tank. I had to go inside the center tank of an A320. Nothing unusual. I used to work a lot in that area before as well. So I had to go there and replace a component. So I went there, and the ventilation out there was not proper, and what happened was that I got suffocated for a few seconds and totally blanked out, like fainted. And I was pulled out of there, and then I went out and washed my clothes and catch my breath again. So that incident happened, okay? And some of the mixture of the fuel and some kind of layer of protective layer on the tank, it caused a very bad scar on my skin on the left flank. Okay, so I visited a skin specialist, and everything was going fine. So now you will be asking me, what does it have to do with mental health? So the story's remaining part will obviously tell you how it is linked to mental health. So what happened a few days later, that I was treating my skin, and one day I came to work in the morning and I felt like a heart attack, right in the chest, and I started sweating badly, and I had to rush to the doctor. And then this attack became frequent. I went to the doctor after every second or third day, and then suddenly one day, I think I was attending a class in the training center or what, and then I even started having pain in my stomach, So I don't know what was going on. My bowels were not proper, and bowel movement was not proper. It was, very weird. I went out to a gastroenterologist, and they checked my weight. I was losing weight. That was very strange. And they did my endoscopy, and it was found that I had, H. pylori and chronic gastritis. I was not aware about that. So I went through the treatment for H. pylori, the antibiotics and the, PPIs. After one round of the medication, there was no sign of H. pylori in my stool samples or any other tests, but I still kept lingering on and still kept questioning myself that maybe this thing is still there, and I was stressed out. I could not focus on my work. My weight, I was not able to gain my weight. I was, the stomach pain was not so much there, but I had general weakness and kind of, strange feeling after taking those strong antibiotics. So my body was kind of healing. And you know what? At the same time, I even started having some, symptoms in my sinuses. I don't know, or maybe it was going on for a long time. I was not taking care of myself. And one of the doctors said that I should also undergo, sinoplasty, a sinus surgery. So I didn't knew what was going on. Endoscopies, sinus surgery. I eventually underwent a sinus surgery. It was very horrible, 1.5 hour operation. And my weight, I was still not gaining weight, and I could not do work at my workplace. I started homeopathic medicine for the supposedly H. pylori still living in me, whereas it was not there. So I was spending a lot of money on tests and medicines and whatever. But actually what it turned out to be was a mental health issue. Yes, eventually it was a mental health issue, and after a lot of insistence from my parents, especially my mom and my dad, I finally met a good psychiatrist and a psychologist, for counseling and medication. And I'm glad I met Dr. Rida, who started my treatment with very minimal medicines, which also controlled my digestive symptoms as well as the, sort of anxiety symptoms. She also, saw that I had a vitamin D3 deficiency, unlike those other doctors, and treated my vitamin D3 deficiency as well. So, but by that time, it was almost, the end of the 2020, and PIEA, my company, was going through a bad time. They even had an air crash that was playing on my mind. And through counseling, they basically found out that the trauma of that incident that happened with me, that fuel incident, which completely almost blanked me out, as well as some other stresses from my career and a very stressful year leading up to that fuel incident. Last 1 year before that, 19th of July, was very stressful for me. I was studying a lot for an exam at the Civil Aviation Authority to, become an aircraft engineer. I basically acquired that license. I got qualified, but I could not even celebrate. And this, monster of illnesses, whatever compound of illnesses, they surrounded me, and I had a horrible 2020. And then at the end of 2020, I was left to think, what should I do next? Should I carry on with my job or not? I was still not, I just started the treatment, but, PIA offered a voluntary separation scheme, so I eventually took it, and I, seek help from that Dr. Rida and the counselor, and I started going there regularly. So I started seeing a lot of improvement in my life. So basically what I observed was that I was actually stressed up a lot in my life. I mean, I used to travel a lot. So after 2018, I had not gone out of my city or country. I had not taken any holiday because I was studying like a nerd, and also working my ass off at my workplace. So all of that compounded up, And basically that heart attack thing, it was not a heart attack, it was a panic attack. Yes, so I was suffering from anxiety, and due to anxiety I also was having those digestive symptoms, and I was losing my weight. So the doctor basically said that this is called somatoform disorder. So I'm still suffering from that somatoform disorder, but alhamdulillah, I'm very much healthy now. I've gained my weight back. I've started freelancing, and now I work in a software house as a research writer, and I'm very much content with my life, even though I'm not working in my own field. But work-life balance is very important, because at PIA often I used to go to work even on Eid holidays and on weekends, and even had to work 16 hours on a trot. And I also had not just that fuel incident, but also another traumatic incident at workplace during PIA, which I will discuss in another video. So I think all of that was kind of bubbling up inside me, that created this somatoform disorder. So finally, I'm happy that I acknowledged that I had this issue, and worked with my therapist and my doctor, and finally I'm very much better now, standing in front of you in 2023. And I'm happy to say that the doctors, they really helped me. And any patient, if you see around you facing similar issues, I think one should go to a very good psychiatrist. Some of them are very cheap. I can even refer you the same NGO which I basically reached out to, who helped me a lot. So mental health is very important. Work-life balance is very important. Never ever overwork yourself, because your body is very important. If you don't take proper rest, and if you just keep working and working like stupid to earn money and whatever, and never take a break and stop going for holidays, this will impact you badly, as it did to me. These things build up slowly and then can basically ruin your life. So take care of yourself and others around you, and always remember, mental health is very, very important. See you in my next video. Goodbye.